Hello, this is Bill Morgan, president of Parker University and Parker Seminars here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And with me today is the world-renowned spine researcher, Stu McGill. Stu, thanks for joining us.
It's been a terrific pleasure. As I started my lecture today, Bill, I'm here because of you and our history.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for coming. It's, of course, you're a big draw for us. And there's this connection that the scientist with the clinician, and there's been a disconnect over the years. When I talk to scientists, they're always curious how clinicians interpret what they found. So can you expound on that a little bit, on how you see people interpreting the science and the data?
Yeah, well, I see you as a scientist and a master clinician, and I see myself as a scientist and a clinician as well, and I think that's been the great fusion with our relationship over the years. As you were developing your radiology textbooks, you were making the links between the image and what you see and the mechanics of what could have caused them, or the mechanics of adaptation subsequent to the original insult. That is all there for you to see, as you've written about, on the adaptations over the years. So as the original wound that a person might see on an MR, it slowly turns into a scar, and it's no longer painful, and there must be some other pathway. But clinicians aren't used to linking the science and the mechanostimulation and the adaptation to tissues to chronic load exposure once the original insult has occurred.
Yeah, my MRI books were written, I'm not a radiologist, I'm a clinician, but it's the interpretation. It's like seeing spondylosis, as we both know, that's part of the history. Something happened there years ago to cause that degeneration of that disc and the osteophytes. That may not be in pain at all. Like for myself, I've got an old herniated disc, and I'm bone on bone, L4, L5, zero pain.
Well, naturally, your body stiffened and stabilized that joint quite naturally. However, there will be a extra responsibility on adjacent levels now for that motion, and they are going to show the sequelae to that change in stress profile. But it's fabulous to be able to link all of that back to the person who's in front of you and interpret it in them, so you can give the best guidance to create whatever foundation it is they need to be pain-free.
And I know your evaluation process is extensive when you evaluate a patient. Almost impractical to do it in a system that pays RVUs based on 15-minute increments, like in the United States. What advice would you give someone for their evaluation of a patient to get that initial diagnosis to figure out what is wrong with this patient?
That's a fabulous question, and the answer is, first, work hard to obtain clinical mastery. That's mastery in reading the person, understanding the history of both them and their lives, and their very specific injury history that have led up to why they're in pain now. Understand the impediments as to why they've failed previous attempts. And then you must spend the time with that person to put all that together. Some clinicians say, well, I don't have that ability with the way I'm paid. And I'll say, well, you must find it, because I'm paid very well to spend 3 hours with a person, and I'm paid for my time to reach that conclusion. But it's the only way I know to get the precision and specificity in understanding why they have pain, and the precision in what must be done to change their life, basically, and restore their pain-free capacity. There aren't too many people who are absolute failures and committed to pain for life.
Amen. Thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing the evidence to Las Vegas, and you've drawn quite a crowd. I think there's 1,000 people at 8 o'clock, or is it 8 o'clock or 8:30 when you started? 8 o'clock. And I expect you'll have several hundred more come as they wake up in Las Vegas after a long night of libation and enjoyment.
Well, it was 2 years ago when you asked me would I do this, and I hope I didn't hesitate. I said yes, absolutely. So thank you very much for the honor, Bill, and thanks for all you do as well.
Thank you. Thanks for everything you do for spine care in the world.